if we do have a bubble effect, what would be the best position for United States investors to, you mentioned cash, 30% or so in cash now.
Yes, somewhere between 15 and 35%, 30%.
Would you advise, perhaps upward to that if the markets continue to move up and become a little bit even more frothy, with price earnings ratios staying even higher? Would you actually advise more cash or more gold, or do you have?
I would advise more cash.
Okay.
I definitely would not advise gold. I've been anti-gold for several years, and perhaps you're aware that the price of gold per ounce has dropped dramatically.
Yes.
And it's below $1,200 an ounce. I believe it's going to go below $1,000 an ounce. I remember as a kid growing up that gold sold for $35 an ounce. So it's hard to get my arms around a metal, even though gold is a serious metal. It's hard to get my arms around a metal that doesn't have any value other than just storage.
Right.
And so to make it $1,000 an ounce, I'm negative on gold.
All right. But conservative is the key going forward.
I think so.
All right.
Cash is the way to express that conservatism, and to be in cash. And keep in mind that when markets do come down, they, like the little V that we've been through the last couple of weeks, they come down pretty fast. And sometimes they keep, unlike the last 2 weeks, the last week they've gone back up and actually gone higher than when the decline started. So we can see some of that as well. In 1987, very interesting year. The market started down in January of '87, and it continued down throughout the year. And then in October, it actually got into what you would call a crash. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we would all expect that was predicting a recession. And in the latter part of December '87 and into January through June of '88, there was no recession at all. So we had a market decline based on a lot of other somewhat extraneous things, without it predicting an economic decline.
Interesting. One of the things that I wanted to also ask you about, Ed, is capital formation. Given the whole financial scenario, what is a new entrepreneur to do? We've been through a time that the banks have had a difficult, or at least it has been more and more difficult for young entrepreneurs to receive financing traditionally. And I know that you have been very active in banking as
Yes.
well. Going forward, what would be your advice to young people who want to finance their dreams? Do you see capital formation happening more and more in the area of venture capital, or the new thing, crowdfunding? What is your view of our future possibilities for young people?
My most serious advice in this area is for young people who are starting brand new companies not to use debt. Having debt hang over your head while you're trying to be entrepreneurial and do things is almost a no escape. In my opinion, it destroys your passion, destroys your opportunities. Okay, so you don't have the cash yourself, you need to have cash. So you need to go to friends like I did with Robert Werner when we started our company. At the same time, you may need to go beyond that. Depends upon the kind of cash you need. The people who started Amazon and so on, they got cash from entrepreneurial venture capital sources, equity cash, not debt. Mm-hmm. So it's okay, in my opinion, to use those kinds of sources for capital, equity capital, and to keep yourself away from having debt that you need to pay back on a period basis, like a mortgage, or where you have a due date that's right around the horizon. Having a due date on debt takes away management's attention from doing business and growing the business, and focuses on how we're going to replace this debt. So I would make it all equity. Venture, friends, family, whoever you can get the cash from.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I just want to say what a pleasure it's been having this time with you today, Ed, and it's been a real, I think, wonderful opportunity for the patrons of the Cafe of Dreams to learn your advice, and from taking it from somebody who from a young age began in this business and is still going so strong, we want to commend you and thank you so much for stopping by here at the Cafe of Dreams and sharing your expertise and your mentorship with us.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Ed.